of knowledge illuminate our minds. Let the flame of wisdom guide us on our journey. Let the light of education empower us to shape a bright future. Respected Manager, Reverend Father Tom, respected Principal, Reverend Father Jean, Honorable Guest, Reverend Father C.D. Sebastian, and respected Dion Reji, sir. All dear teachers, respected parents, and my dear students, Namaste. A very good morning and hearty welcome to this exclusive orientation program on higher education in India and education and future of our children. Let's begin this program by a prayer song. I request everyone to stand and sing a prayer. Students can sit. Students can sit. Let us begin with the prayer. Bind us together, Lord, bind us together with cords that cannot be broken. Bind us together, Lord, bind us together, Lord, bind us together in love. There is only one God, there is only one King, there is only one body, that is why we sing. Bind us together, Lord, bind us together with cords that cannot be broken. Bind us together, Lord, bind us together, Lord, bind us together in love. Thank you, parents. Please be seated. With the ever-evolving landscape of higher education, it is essential to be updated and guide our children, which will enable them to thrive in increasing complex world of competition. Swadeshe pujyate Raja, Vidwan Sarvatra pujyate. It is really our proud privilege to arrange this exclusive orientation program with Honorable Reverend Father C.D. Sebastian and Honorable Dion Reji, sir. Now, I request our manager, Father Tom, to welcome Dr. C.D. Sebastian, Father, by token of love. Thank you, Father. Now I request Reverend Father James to welcome Mr. Dion Reji, sir. Thank you, Father. Thank you, sir. Now I request Father James to speak few words about our honorable guest.
Good morning to another person here. Respected the resource persons, Dr. C.D. Sebastian, Mr. Dion Reji, Reverend Father Tom, the teachers, and my dear beloved parents and students. So it is with immense pleasure and a deep sense of gratitude that I welcome our esteemed resource persons, Dr. C.D. Sebastian, to this orientation program on higher education in India. Dr. C.D. Sebastian's presence among us today is truly a privilege for us. His distinguished academic career and profound expertise in the field of philosophy make him an ideal guide for us as we navigate the landscape of higher education. Dr. C. Sebastian is a professor of philosophy at the prestigious institution of Indian Institute of Technology, IIT Bombay, Mumbai. That is a testament of his exceptional scholarly contributions. His academic journey has taken him from the hallowed halls of Banaras Hindu University. From there, he achieved the PhD degree, and also where he has earned his MA with flying colors, that is, achieving the first rank with 2 gold medals. And also to the University of Bristol, where he pursued postdoctoral research, and also he has also been a DAAD fellow at the University of Erfurt, Germany, and he is also an Erasmus Mundus visiting scholar at the University of Warsaw, Poland. And also he is enriching his perspective with international experience. So his dedication to teaching has been recognized with the Excellence in Teaching Award in IIT Bombay. So he has a remarkable achievement that speaks volume about his impact on students. So Dr. C. Sebastian is not just an academic, he is an inspiring mentor and a true educator for all of us. Dr. C. Sebastian's scholarship extends far beyond the classroom. He is an established scholar and a researcher in Indian and comparative philosophy with over 120 research papers published in esteemed international journals. His book, The Cloud of Nothingness, published by Springer Nature, has garnered significant international acclaim. He is a valued member of the Society for Asian and Comparative Philosophy and the Society of Intercultural Philosophy, Cologne, further showing his engagement with the global academic community. So on a personal note, Dr. C. Sebastian shares a special connection and a special relation with our Alphonsa School and Sunday Business Society. That is, he is the classmate of our father Tom, and also for me, he holds a deep place of respect. That is, he is my professor of Indian philosophy at the Rohaya Vedas Seminary at Ujjain. And also, I still cherish the memories of his insightful guidance and the profound impact he had on my understanding of Indian philosophy. And beyond his philosophical expertise, Dr. C. Sebastian, he possesses a remarkable command of the language of Sanskrit and many other Indian languages, and also the language of Syrian, and he is an expert in Upanishads and Puranas, and also he has a deep knowledge and understanding in Indian tradition and Indian culture. So, Dr. C. Sebastian, we are truly honored to have you with us today. Your insight and wisdom will undoubtedly be valuable to all of us as we explore the critical aspects of higher education in India. So we are eagerly anticipate your address and the opportunity to learn from your vast experience. So in the name of all, I accord a cordial welcome to Dr. C. Sebastian. Welcome, dear Father. And also, we are incredibly fortunate to have with us today, that is Dion Reji, a bright and promising third-year student in computer science and engineering at the prestigious Indian Institute of Technology, IIT Bombay. So he is an expert in computer science and engineering. And Dion has graciously agreed to share his insight and expertise with us on the topic of that is very immense importance. Everybody is waiting for that also, I know. That is entrance to IITs, IISC, IISERs and NITs. So for many of our students, these institutions represent the pinnacle of higher education in India, offering an unparalleled opportunities for academic growth and career success. The path to gaining admission, however, it is very difficult and sometimes it is very complex to get admission in these kinds of prestigious institutions. So that's why today we are so much thrilled to have Mr. Dion here today to having successfully navigated this challenging process to get the admission. That is a challenging process. So he successfully navigated that challenging process himself, and he is in a unique position to provide us with first-hand knowledge and practical tips and valuable advice for these kinds of entrance admission. Dion's presence here today is a testament to his commitment to helping others and his desire to give back to the community. So he understands the hard work, dedication and strategic planning that is required to crack these kinds of competitive entrance exams, and he is generously offered his time to share his experiences and guide us through this process. So whether you are a student just beginning to explore your options or someone preparing to take these crucial exams, so I am so much confident that Mr. Dion's talk will be incredibly beneficial to all the students and especially to parents. So he will be sharing valuable information about the specific entrance exams, the preparation strategies, the common pitfalls to avoid, and perhaps most importantly, the mindset and approach that we needed to get success in our life. So let us please join me in giving a warm and very welcome to Dion Reji. We are all eager to hear from you and learn from your experiences. So thank you for being here, Dion. So we look forward to very insightful and informative sessions, and to let me accord a cordial welcome to all the parents. In spite of this busy schedule, you took time here so that this session should be fruitful. It's a very honor for us to have a person from IIT. So they, in spite of their busy schedule also, with the love towards our school, they wholeheartedly accepted our request and come out here. So let us also make fruit from these sections. If you have the doubts, I know that many of you have the doubts and doubts about your future. So this session, let this session be a solution for all our doubts, and I am eagerly waiting for your valuable doubts, your feedbacks. So once again, welcoming all of you, I remain.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Thank you, Father. Now it's time for the most awaiting moment for which we all have gathered here. I request Reverend Father Dr. C.D. Sebastian to enlighten us with his valuable words of guidance. Please, Father.
Peel back, peel back, please.
Sorry, you will begin. Yeah, you are ready? You are ready? Parents, I'm sorry this auditorium is not conducive for PowerPoint presentation. Hardly you can see from behind. But I will try to spell out whatever is possible. Before beginning, am I audible enough? Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? See, before beginning, I would like to say 2 points, not so much voice. Only थोड़ा सा काम कर लो. Okay. Now, for you are in class 8 and 9, no, 9 and 10, right? For us to bring our career in an advanced stage, the new course of time, the most important step is class 10 examination. Are you with me? Are you getting? Class 10 decides what you are going to do in class 11th and 12th. Okay? So, on the basis of your class 10 marks, performance, you will be going to do your class 11th and 12th. You get the point? So, you can choose only on the basis of your marks in class 10. And on the basis of your class 12th, your next course of action takes place. So, for me, for the parents as well, the most decisive examination in life is class 10. Samjhana? You got it? So, class 10, you have to beginning of the class 10 examination starts from when you are in class 8. Class 8, 9th and 12th, 10th. You have to do what you can say with utmost care, utmost patience and dedication and hard work. And if you lose your spirit in class 10, late 9 and 10th, then your future is going to be in a confused manner. Okay? So you are in class 9. Class 9 means a lot. Next week, class 10, that means a lot. So, I'm not telling that you should not go for games, you should not go for fun. You should go. But you should be very economic in deciding what you are going to do in class 9 and 10. Are you with me? Are you getting what I'm saying? And if you don't perform well in class 10, then our entire future is affected. If you do it extremely well, yeah, then no voice is coming. Voice is coming.
No, connect sir.
Okay, are you hearing me?
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Very disastrous, right? Yeah? There you are. It's too much. Voice थोड़ा सा कम करो. Okay. So one point did I say? Class 10 exam is very important. Right? And please do your studies in class 9th and 10th well. Your fun, your other games are conveyed till class 10 examination. I'm not telling that you should not go, you should go, but prioritize what is important for you. And on the basis of that, you are going to build up your future. Right? That's my first point. If you don't remember anything, at least remember this. Class 10 examination, the board exam is very decisive examination for your life. Okay, got it. Second point, what I wanted to tell you is this one. Now, all of us are thinking of IITs, becoming an engineer, right? How many engineers are sitting here? How many are going to become engineers? Only 3. Any engineers here? No engineers? There are a number of that. It is not only engineering or medicine you can do. There are many other branches, many other ways you can do well in your career. Not only engineering, not only becoming a doctor, there are many other things you can opt for and you can succeed and you can become successful. That's my second point to tell you. First is past tense. Second is there are other options. If I'm not qualified in engineering to get into engineering, if I'm not able to get into medicine, there are many other avenues open in front of me and I can open up. You get the point. And I want to tell our parents also the same. If our children are not making for engineering and medicine, there are other avenues which they can opt for. There are many, both side, that side programs say, agar engineer na bana, doctor na bana, so there are both side options hai bachon ke liye, bachon ke bhavish ke liye, and that is what I wanted to tell you. This is a wise decision. Okay. I come to my point of my presentation, and what I wanted to do. There are two modules. In the presentation today. I will speak sometime. Then for engineering and science, Dion will come and speak and make you aware of that. But then again I will come back if there is time. And when you are tired and when you get bored, you show me that and I will stop. Okay? When you are tired. And we begin with this slide. Can you see those who are behind? हम देख सकते हैं क्या? जो पीछे बैठे हैं, can see? Thank you. देखो, India is the third largest in the world on higher education because our population is much more than other countries. So higher education we are third largest. The first is US and the second is China. After that we are coming in higher education. इसका मतलब है हमारे सारे बच्चे, all of our children are going for higher education. And so you have no other option. You have to go for higher studies after class 12. ठीक है? हमारे सारे बच्चे, all of us are going for higher education. So you have no choice. You have to go. So मन बना कर बैठो that मैं higher studies करूँगा. All right, that's important. And All India survey of higher education started and made. There is something that survey I'm not going to. Next one. See, you look at this one. We have 1,168 universities or university level institutions in India. Out of those, 45,473 are colleges and 12,002, now it is 12,008 standalone institutions. And what are the standalone institutions? We have standalone institutions are those institutions are outside the purview of universities and colleges and require recognition from the ministry. And they are the institutions which gives MBA, other degrees, PGD, MBA degrees. They are also there. Okay, so we don't need to pay much attention to that one. Now come to out of 1,168 universities, 686 are government managed. Central government 240 and state government 445. And this is important for us. Not the private institutions. You have 685 publicly funded government institutions where you can go. If you do excellently well, you can go and study without much fee. And that's what you have to. You know, when I studied, I never paid fee to a private university or a college. I studied in all centrally funded, central government, centrally funded universities. When I was doing my masters, I was giving 200 rupees as fees per year. When I did my PhD, I was paying 300 rupees per year as per year. एक महीने में बड़ी मुश्किल से 30 रुपया फी PhD करने के लिए. It was in the central universities. Central universities, the fee structure has gone little bit, but you can study without much fee. And you know, if you are good, you will get your scholarship, and you do not worry about getting money from your parents. So when we all study for our higher studies, Sarkar will give you money to study, and you will go ahead with your studies. And Dion, who is here for first BTech, he has to pay the fee. But those students also come for MTech. They all have scholarship, and those who come for PhD, they all have scholarship. And that scholarship is not a simple little money. The first 2 years, they get 37,000 rupees per month. And next 3 years in their PhD, they get 42,000 rupees per month. So it's something, no, you are not paying, you are paid and you are doing the study. So what is most important? Your work of your brain. That's important. So what you have to aspire, you have to think, you have to work hard to get into centrally funded, central government funded educational institutions. And that is only possible if you crack the entrance examinations. Are you getting the point? And if I don't study, and if I don't do well in my examinations and the entrance, then I have to take money from my parents. And they have to make money for my studies. And if you do well, you will give them money, then you do the studies. Are you getting the point? So it is up to you to decide. पढ़ने के वक्त में अच्छा से तन मन लगा के पढ़ो. जीवन पूरा आपके सामने है मौज मस्ती करने के लिए. The whole life is there in front of you to make fun. लेकिन जो पढ़ने का वक्त जो आता है ना, when that comes, you do justice to your studies. And that's what I tell all the young minds in the schools when I go to meet them. And the same thing I tell you. पढ़ने का वक्त में पढ़ाई करो और मत सोचो. Then the rest of the life you can enjoy. Okay, so if you do that way, हम तो हमारे parents के ऊपर बोझ नहीं बनते हैं. We don't become a burden for our parents. You know, मैं एक बात बता रहा हूँ. मेरे एक student है. That student came for her PhD entrance. She qualified in her written examination, but she failed in the interview. You got it? Then she came back again for the second time. Same thing happened. She qualified in the entrance exam, in the written, but in the interview she failed. Then she comes for the third time, and she qualifies both interview and the written examination. And she is completing her PhD under my supervision. And she is coming from a village in Orissa, where her parents are not educated. And she is the first generation going to a higher education institution in India, that also to IIT Bombay. You understand? And you know what she did? She gets 42,000 rupees per month as scholarship. She collected her scholarship. Now she bought 5 acres of land in her hometown to start a school for poor children. Now I am very happy with that student. She bought अपनी scholarship से पैसा जुटा के 5 एकड़ जमीन का लेकर रखा है. क्यों? बच्चों को स्कूल बनाने के लिए. जो गरीब बच्चे हैं उनको अच्छी एजुकेशन देने के लिए she bought land. Then when she was doing her PhD here, she got selected for the university as an assistant professor through Orissa Public Service Commission. So before completing her PhD, she went and became an assistant professor in the university. Now she has come back to submit her thesis. She will be submitting thesis, means that is the degree final one. And she will be a doctor soon. But मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है एक इंसान इंसान का मतलब क्या है? तहे दिल से प्यार करने वाले दूसरों को. Like that, students are coming and they are doing it very well for their community, their society, their country. You understand? So, जीवन में कुछ मकसद होना चाहिए. There should be some aim to when you do studies, and that's what I wanted to impress upon all of you. Do it with heart and soul, and become somebody for your parents, become somebody for the society, become somebody for the country. Are you getting that point? So we have so many centrally funded institutions. What is the gate to enter that one? Our hard work and examination and the result. Okay. Then comes to the next one. 10 are aided. These all are I am leaving. We will go to the next one. See, you see, we have many world-ranking universities or institutions in India. You can see from behind, I'm sorry. And IIT Bombay stands as the best in India as of now. Among all the Indian universities, we say IIT Bombay because when it was made, Mumbai was Bombay. So Bombay is in 1958. The IIT Indian Institute of Technology Bombay was made as a bill act in the parliament as IIT Bombay. They cannot change IIT Bombay into IIT Bombay because it's that way. Similarly, IIT Chennai, the act is named as IIT Madras Chennai. So we say IIT Bombay, Mumbai. Okay, so IIT Bombay, then you have all other IITs. Then education institutions, I would like to tell you which are the education institutions. Do you see this one? You just have a look at it. We have 23 IITs. How many? 23 IITs. And we have one IISC. Have you heard of IISC? Yeah, Indian Institute of Science. And if suppose you don't want to do anything with engineering and technology, and this is the best institution in India to go and study in fundamental sciences. You are interested. That is Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore. Okay, you know who started this one? It's more than 100-year-old. Who started this IISc? The Tata. You remember there was a Tata? You see the Gadi Tata, the moving around? You see the Tata who died, Ratan Tata? Jamshedpur Tata, Jayadi Tata started what was known as Tata Institute of Science. But when India became independent, then government, Nehru told him to hand over to the government of India. So it became Indian Institute of Science. And the best science students go for their art studies to Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore. Are you getting that point? That's very prestigious. And they have their own entrance examinations, which Dion will highlight you how to get into. And we have one IISC, Indian Statistical Institute. Those who are interested in maths and statistics, we have an Indian Statistical Institute in Calcutta. And that's also very prestigious. Those who are good at mathematics and statistics can think of going there. And we have 56 centrally funded central universities. You know what is the difference between central universities and state universities? You have a university in Kolhapur University, that's funded or controlled by the state government, Maharashtra government. Are you understanding? But there are many universities which are controlled by central government. Though in the state, they are central universities. Okay, so you know your University of Delhi, Jawaharlal Nehru University, Banaras Hindu University, Aligarh Muslim University, and like that there are Northeastern Hill University. There are how many? There are 56 central government universities. And the students who study there are all come from all parts of India, not only from one state. And there is an entrance examination and they qualify. Central universities. Okay, and we have 56 central universities and 21 IIMs. You know what is IIM? What is IIM? IIM में क्या पढ़ाते हैं? management भी क्या है? Management है ना? Management studies. You know, for to go to IIMs, two IIMs, we have how many IIMs? We have 21 IIMs. And two IIM Jammu and IIM Gaya, they have direct admission to integrated program with their, after class 12, you can qualify. You can qualify. मैं आपको बताता हूँ एक बात. Father भी सुनो. IIM Gaya में, in a school like our school, there was a watchman in one school. And his son was very studious. He was so good. And his son studied, and that school had only up to class 10. Then class 11th and 12th he went out and studied in some other school. Okay? And he gave the examination of IIM integrated program, IIM Jammu and IIM, and he qualified, cracked. And you know, IIM, you need money, plenty of money to study in IIM. And uska fees jo hai, for 5 years when he do his studies, 2 year, 3 year undergrad and 2 year, he has to pay 30 lakhs. That's the fee structure of IIM, 30 lakh. And if your dad's, your parents' income is less than 1.5 lakhs, there is a provision that they will waive off the fee. And so when this student qualified, the people from there contacted me what to do. I said he should go, his fee will be waived off, and he needs to give only 1 lakh rupee altogether for his entire course. So because his parents' income is very less, you understand? So they managed and he is doing his studies. Last year he joined, and I was very happy that, you know, a student coming from humble background, cracking the examination. Why? Because of the intelligence and hard work. देखो जब study की बात आती है, when it comes about study, your religion is insignificant, your language is insignificant, when the place where you come is insignificant. What matters is your hard work. You understand? And you reach the place. Your parents' money is not important, but you are going to be prestigious. And it happened last year, and he is working. So we have 21 IIMs, and after class 2 there is an examination, class 12, there is an examination which you can go directly into that one. And once you get into that one, you will be highly respected and you will get your job from there itself. And we have 7 IISER. IISER is Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research. Nobody knows this part of the world, I think. Then we have an IISER in Pune. That's one of the prestigious. There also they do studies in basic sciences, physics, chemistry, biosciences, as well as maths and all. Okay, IISER. And all the IISERs will have different departments and different things. Then you have 31 NITs. NIT means National Institute of Technology. When we were young, of our age, this was known as REC, Regional Engineering Colleges. And now all the regional engineering colleges are upgraded or renamed as the National Institute of Technology. And we have 31 such NITs and 25 triple ITs, Indian Institute of Information Technology, and 24 All India Institute of Medical Sciences. So these are the possibilities which you have in front of you for your studies. And that is not the end of it. That's what I wanted to say. Suppose you are not good in science, maths and all, and you are good at painting, design, fashion technology, and all these things, then there are institutes for that one. We have 7 NITs, National Institute of Design, where you can take a different course of action. And we have 3 SPAs, that's School of Planning and Architecture. That also is under central government. And you have many other institutions for your studies. And I would like to tell you, before I hand over my mic to the engineer, something more. If you are not going to become a doctor, you are going to become you are not to become an engineer, a scientist, you have some other options. And some people don't like maths, right? How many of you don't like maths? All like you? There is one gentleman standing. Yeah. you are see, there is somebody who doesn't like maths. Okay, if suppose you don't like maths and science, there are other courses of actions. If you can see, you see, come back. You see, there is something called, and if the nursing is an option, healthcare, nursing is, if you don't become a doctor, you can think of becoming a nurse. That also is an option. And there is something called doctor in nursing and midwifery. That's a small course within 2 years. And after class 12, you go for that one, you get job within 2 years. And or if you go for some other, again nursing, you get job. If you are looking for job, go for that. That is one. Then you can go for any sort of BA, Bachelor of Arts, or you can go for BCom, BSc, and there are many universities which offer the Bachelor of Agriculture, Bachelor of Architecture, Bachelor of Business Administration, Bachelor of Business Management, BBM, Bachelor of Business Studies, BBS, Bachelor of Computer Application, BCA, Bachelor of Dental Surgery, BDS, but that is to the NEET examination. Bachelor of Dance, if you are good at dance, you can go, think of going for a Bachelor in Dance, as we have bachelors in music. Then there is a course called BDES, Bachelor in Communication Design, and also Bachelor in Design, BDES. Then BE and BTech, that is for the engineers. We are leaving that one for our friend. Then there is a Bachelor of Fine Arts. Bachelor of Finance are also in very high stake. Then Bachelor of Fisheries and Sciences. Then you have a Bachelor of Fashion Technology. Many of our youngsters are going for Bachelor in Fashion Technology now. Then Bachelor of Hospital Administration, that's also a very good option. Then Bachelor of Hotel Management. And Bachelor of Hotel Management and Catering Technology, another degree. Then a Bachelor of Homeopathic Medicine and Surgery, that is also these days, many are going for that, BHMS. And Bachelor of Hotel Management, Travel and Tourism, this has got more, what we can say, chances for job opportunities after your class 1. Then Bachelor of Hotel and Tourism Management, there are hotel and tourism related, there are many courses in many places. And so that also will fetch you good job. After you complete your manage that 3 or 4 year course, you are sure to get a job in hotel management and tourism, because that is flourishing all over. Then Bachelor of International Business and Finance, you need to do that economics. Then Bachelor of Indian Medicine, Bachelor of Journalism, if you want to become Patrakar, then Bachelor of Journalism. Then Bachelor of Journalism and Mass Media Communication, there are good places. Jamia Millia in Delhi is a very good place. Banaras Hindu University is a good place. There are many universities which offer such courses. And most importantly of this, if you are not interested in all these, every university, every college and every institution will have a library. And librarians are not like those who study anything else. They have to study library science. And library science is, Bachelor of Library Science and Information Sciences, you can go and you can get a job. And there is also Bachelor of Library Sciences, a different degree. And Bachelor of Medical Lab Technology also, when you are diagnosing the medicine, lab technology also is a possibility. Then there is something called multimedia, where you can go around, Bachelor of Multimedia. Bachelor of Management Studies, Bachelor of Music, then Bachelor of Naturopathic and Yogic Sciences. There are many institutions these days, but I do not know how the job markets are for them. But all other things which I said, there is possibility of fetching good job. Then Bachelor of Performing Arts, those who are in dance, music, things like that, there is a BFA, BPA. Then Bachelor of Physical Education, and you know, who is your physical education teacher here? You don't have a PT teacher? Namaskar. So he will tell you how to do things. He is bringing what I'm saying. Bachelor of Physical Education, Bachelor of no, nothing. I'm telling that there is a course called Bachelor of Physical Education. And you know, even you can go Masters in Physical Education, you can go for PhD in Physical Education, and there is all possibilities. And Bachelor of Physiotherapy. And these days, you know, I was discussing with a doctor in Mumbai. So he was telling me the job opportunity is much more for those who do physiotherapy as a course, if you have degree. Because every hospital, every health center, everywhere they need people, those who are trained in physiotherapy. You understand? So that also is a possibility. I'm giving these things because don't think that becoming a doctor or engineer is the only one choice. There are many other choices. And if I am not able to spend much money to become a doctor, I will not tax or I will not give suffering to my parents. I will go for some of these courses and I will, after doing this study, I will get my job and I will support my family. That also you can think of. So these are not a bad thing. Though job-wise you will not be a doctor, but you will be a doctor in helping the people for their health maintenance. So physiotherapy. Then there is something called B.Pharm. And these days, B.Pharm people are much sought after for the medical companies, medical research, B.Pharm. And B.Pharm, after doing B.Pharm, there is something called M.Pharm, and after that there is something called PhD. I know many of our students, after doing B.Pharm, coming to IIT Bombay and getting their PhD, and they are in different places. So B.Pharm also is a, pharmacy studies also is a good thing. Bachelor of Pharmacy, Bachelor of Social Sciences, Bachelor of Social Work, and MBBS. You know MBBS, everyone knows. I'm not going to say anything. And before I end you are tired, you are bored up. Before I would like to tell you something. Now, all our medical entrance examinations are through NEET. You know that one, NEET. And even in the IIMs, Delhi and all other aims, and even JIPMR, there is a famous institute, Jawaharlal Institute for Postgraduate Medicine and Engineering Education Research in Pondicherry. That's also a very prestigious institute. JIPMR, they call it. That also, the names and all that are taking their admissions through NEET. Then if you are going for management and entrance examination, there is a management after class 12, I am telling. After class 12, there is a common management admission test which is known as CMAT for the management studies. And after your class 12. And there is something called graduate pharmacy aptitude test. This is only for the students, those who are going for a pharmacy test. Then there is another test of hotel management examination, National Council of Hotel Management Joint Entrance Examination. And you know, like IIT, there are institutes, Indian Institute of Hotel Management. There also you can think of going for your studies. And you have got something called, if you are don't want to go do anything with medicine, all these professional courses, then you can go to do your BA, BSc, and BCom degrees in centrally funded universities. And there is a common entrance examination which is known as QET, Central University Entrance Examination. That started from a year before last. Then suppose you want to become a vakil and a judge and Supreme Court judge, there are, you know how many there are 27 national law universities out there, and there is a common entrance test for law, that is CLAT, CLAT they call it, and that is 1 degree. Then this was the last one. Last time when I was taking, they asked me, "Bhoji banna chahta hu." Kisi ne pucha, "Main kya karu?" You want to become an army officer, right? Anybody wants to join army, navy, air force? Only one and two hands are there, three are there. You don't want to become. You know. Listen. In the army, in the armed forces, in air force, in the navy, as well as in air force, there are two kinds of people. You know that one. One is commissioned officers. What is that? Commissioned officers. And for army, there will be soldiers, or for the navy, there will be sailors. So to become commissioned officers, you should join National Defence Academy. Where is that? Pune. And what is the way you to get into National Defence Academy? What is the basic qualification? Class 12. And what shall be the age limit? You should be 16 and a half. And it should be below 19 and a half. And you have to write the entrance examination. And this is a 5-hour long examination. After that, once you qualify in the examination, you will be called for an interview. This is not interview, this is the physical test, you know. You will be asked to jump up and down. Hey, who is that officer who wants to lift the hand there? Who lifted the hand here? 5-hour examination after class 12. Then after that, the physical examination, jumping, then the mental exam. You should be also mentally, psychologically fit. Then after that, you are selected for that one. And when you become, that's for commissioned officers. Non-commissioned officers, soldiers, until you do not go through this one. And once you get into National Defence Academy, you come out as an army officer. Okay, you come with the 2 stars. Have you seen? With the 2 stars, he will be a lieutenant. And if he has got or she has got 3 stars, that person will be a captain. She knows. She is coming from captains. And if there is an Ashoka Chihna, he will be a major. And if there is a star and Ashok, he will be a lieutenant colonel. And if there are 2 stars and Ashok, then he will be or she will be full colonel. And if there is 1 star, 3 stars and Ashok, he will be a brigadier, she will be a brigadier. And what happens with them, that means your rank changes. After that you have a major general, you have a lieutenant general. That's the end of it. You will see sword going and you know that these things. So you can make out the officers, what is their rank, looking at what is there on their star. Okay. So to become that one, you go for that one. That also is a very good option for you. Armed forces and joining NTA. So you have many armed chances if you are not going to become a doctor, become an engineer, and becoming somebody, you can become something else. That's what I wanted to say. So I wind up now before you sleep. Are you sleeping? Nobody slept except some parents. No parents slept. Parents, what I wanted to say, मैं आपसे ही बताना चाहूँगा. देखिए, engineer बनाना या doctor बनना, that is one thing. If they are not able to become engineers, बहुत सारे choices है हमारे बच्चों के लिए. इन सबों को explore कीजिए. You explore those possibilities. And बच्चों को उसी तरह भेज दीजिए. देखो, मैं आप लोगों से पेरेंट्स जो मुझसे सुन रहे हैं, यही बताना चाहूँगा. इनके लिए पैसा कमा के मत रखो. Don't give money for them. Don't give money for them. What you can give is the best of the education. जितना अच्छा से पढ़ा सकते हैं, उतना अच्छा से बच्चों को पढ़ाइए. Send them to the best of the places. ताकि कुछ भी हो, आप बस पैसा मत देना, दौलत मत देना, धन संपत्ति मत देना, बस विद्या दे दीजिए, शिक्षा दे दीजिए. They will make their life. Their generation will make their life. So that is what I wanted to say. As much as possible, educate our children and especially our girls. And आजकल है ना, आपको पता है, आजकल लड़की लोग टॉप कर रहे हैं हर एग्जामिनेशन में. हमारे स्कूल में कैसे है पता नहीं. लड़की से स्मार्टर देन द बॉयज. हमारे स्कूल में आजकल हर जगह लड़की, गर्ल्स आर डूइंग मच बेटर देन द बॉयज. क्या कर रहे हैं आप लोग? सच में आप लोगों का चैलेंज है. This is a challenge for you. You also should excel. So मैं आपसे आग्रह करूँगा, आप लोगों से निवेदन करूँगा, हमारी लड़कियों को अच्छा से पढ़ाइए. ताकि वो इज्जत के साथ काम करें and they are successful also and they will make हमारा नाम रोशन करेंगे, आप भी करेंगे, हमारी लड़कियों भी हमारा नाम रोशन करेंगे. So best thing what you can do is to educate your children. यही बताना चाहूँगा बस. And बहुत सारे options open है बच्चों के लिए, बस यही है. मैं अभी इंजीनियरिंग के बारे में बताने के लिए वो भी एक इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग है ना, मैं लियोन को इनवाइट करता हूँ. You come, open your I would like to tell something about him. See, he is in the third year of BTech in IIT Bombay. You know IIT Bombay में what is the most sought after? लड़के लोग, बच्चे लोग किसके लिए ट्राई करते हैं? फर्स्ट चॉइस कंप्यूटर साइंस. IIT Bombay का कंप्यूटर साइंस एंड इंजीनियरिंग इज द बेस्ट. उसमें आपको टॉप रैंकर होना चाहिए, टॉप रैंकर. And when he came, I'm with his permission I'm saying, when he came, he did not get computer science because his rank was not in the first 100. You understand? सबसे ऊपर नहीं है. मैं प्रोफेसर हूँ, मेरा ये हर एक कोर्स के लिए जो उधर पढ़ने वाले बच्चे मेरे साथ हैं, they are known as teaching assistant and they will be paid for that one. And they will come, so I am not able to make things clear to you. They will take classes in the night. समझे ना, teaching assistant, or they will engage, and they are the ones who are setting the question. They are the ones who are evaluating the answer script. Teacher की कोई जरूरत नहीं है, बच्चे करते हैं. क्योंकि IIT के उस दरवाजे के अंदर आप आगे हैं, तो आप समझो आप अचीवर है. आप दूसरे बच्चे जैसे नहीं है. You understand? The moment you get into, you are an achiever. आप बाकी दूसरे लोगों से सबसे आगे है इंडिया में. So that is what. So now he will enlighten you something about IIT, all science and engineering streams. Okay?
Are you all tired now? No. Okay. So I will get started. I think Father has given you a lot of information, but now we will get started with something specific to this. So I will give you a highlight over to how to get into the premier institute, so-called premier institutes in our country. Why are they called premier? Because they are the most sought after institutes in the country. So like you, there are students across schools all over the country who will be wanting to get into the best colleges in the country, and these are those most sought after, the most competitive places to get in after your 12th. So to begin, let's see why you should choose for a premier institute. So why are people going around for a premier institute? What is the need for a premier institute in our country? So one thing, of course, is the academic excellence. So if you look at all these premier institutes, the students studying there are of great academic excellence. They bring forth with research, use newer technologies, publish papers. So what do you mean by papers? So you're learning things in your school, right? When you look at science textbooks, science, social science, you have theories, things to learn. But these should be found by some people. There are people who thinks about these things, comes up with these things, and they publish these things out. So our students there, including the undergraduates, are people who do think a lot about what the subjects they learn and publish things. We have world-class faculty. Like Father, when he came here, your principal told a lot about him. So we have faculty like him. Our faculty are educated outside the country, in MITs. If you have heard about MIT, Stanford, people with PhD over there, international faculties are coming over there. And we have exposure to cutting edge technology and world-class technology. You can see, have you heard about supercomputers? Which are massive computers spanned across the rooms. So IIT Madras owns a supercomputer in itself. So these are not local colleges or local institutes could afford to. Since government gives this much money, all these world-class institutes, they can be called world-class institutes because they are recognized all over the world by other institutes. If you go into an interview in MIT or Stanford, hearing the name in IIT Bombay, IIT Madras, IIT Delhi gives you so much value to it, adds so much value to your resume. If you go for an interview in a company like Microsoft, Google, it adds so much to you. And you have high placement rates. Of course, this is one thing which you would have heard about in newspapers. Recently, day one, the first week of placements at IIT Bombay concluded. And if you've gone through news, you would have heard about some people grabbing packages of 4 crores per annum. And I know the person who got 4 crores, he was my just immediate senior, I know him. So he was placed in a company, Da Vinci, which is a it's a trading firm, finance related firm in Netherlands. He will be working in Amsterdam, Netherlands. So he got 4 crore per annum. So every year he will get 4 crore per package. Imagine getting 4 crore in just 1 year, and he is going to work it throughout his lifetime, most of his life. And almost all the people get a decent placement, and very good placements are also there. 1 crore, 2 crore, and there are average packages also, but almost everyone gets placed there. Competitive salary and strong alumni network. Strong alumni network is something which I would like to talk about. Have you heard about Sundar Pichai? Who is he? CEO of Google and Alphabet, the mother company of Google. He is an IIT Kharagpur alumni. So he studied at IIT Kharagpur and went there. In fact, one of my professors at IIT Bombay was his classmate. He went to IIT Stanford, did his PhD, came back and became a professor for us. He was a classmate of Sundar Pichai. Have you heard of Parag Agarwal? Might not have. Have you? He was a former CEO of Twitter. Have you heard of Ola? Ola, the one you use like Uber for booking taxis and things. So the founder of Ola, Bhavish Agarwal, was my senior years back. So he graduated from CSE IIT Bombay. And Ola itself was actually a project which he did in his BTech at IIT Bombay. So in the final year, he did a project BTech, which actually became, and he developed it into Ola. So the professors who worked under him, with whom he worked, are still with there teaching us. And there will be peer learning. Peer learning means you are among the brightest minds of the country. I am interacting with someone who knows as much as or more than me. So I get to learn from them. They use more technology, they know much more than me. I go to expose myself with the best minds of the country and etc. And I told us before, global recognition. So people, countries, institutes all over the world recognize this. So I'll start with, basically I'm dealing with science. I am a person with science. Who all like science? I'll ask you a question honestly. Who hates science, doesn't want to continue in science? You don't need not be shy to say this because it's not something that everyone likes. Yes, I know many people, my friends who doesn't like science. It's of course not a sin to hate science. But my talk will be more oriented towards science because I am a person from science. I did my 11th and 12th in science and studying in an Institute of Science and Technology. So science is basically of 2 types. Pure sciences and applied sciences. Pure sciences, as the name says, would be theoretical, experimental, research oriented. So you learn these things in science, like in school. In your books you learn physics, chemistry, biology. There will be a lot of theories. You will learn theories like Newton's laws, things like that, right? All these things were developed by Newton or some scientists before, and these people who take pure sciences will really develop these theories. And these includes the subjects which you learn in school, the same thing. Physics, chemistry, biology, mathematics. Maybe in school you would have heard, when you were learning things, you would have listened to things, you will learn about these in higher classes, right? When you are in 12th, you will say, you will learn about it in higher education, when you take a degree or something. So people who do this will learn more about the things which you have learned. So what you learn in school are just very basic fundamental things. There are much more deep theories to it. And why are they needed? Because the people in applied sciences use it. So applied sciences are people who solve practical problems. Who are they? People like engineers, people like doctors who do medicine. So for them to do or solve these practical things, there should be some theory behind it. So for example, if I need to make a car, people would like to design a car, a rocket or an aeroplane. People should know how to make it functional. And to know how to make it functional, you should know some basic theory behind it. You should know that when you rotate a lever, something happens. There's something called a gear which makes things like that. And see, for example, when you take an aeroplane, you need to know how an aeroplane can stay in the air. It's not obvious, right? You can't just put something in the air and stay there. You need to give something like that. There's something called lift, drag, things like that, technical things. So people in pure sciences will develop the theory, People in applied sciences will find out problems to solve. They'll take up the problem, will find a relation between the theory and the problem, and will find out how to solve them. Same thing doctors does. There are biologists who learn about organisms. Doctors will understand more about the organisms, the anatomy, go into their apply and things. And something which is of much more interest in the recent times is AI, artificial intelligence, right? What do you think is AI? You'll feel like a person coding up things. So I am basically from computer science, so I know these things like you need to code up things. But AI is, beneath AI is something called advanced mathematics. So if you want to become an AI engineer, you need to know mathematics. So AI is something like you're predicting things. So you will define something called a loss function or something like that. You need to minimize it, maximize it, optimization problems, complicated things like that. So it's purely mathematics in that. So that those things are developed by pure scientists, used by applied scientists. So my focus will be on both of them. In our country, there are premier institute for both pure sciences as well as applied sciences. We will have a look at this. And so the top institutes, Father gave a broad overview of all the main institutes, but those which, as of my interest, will be mainly three categories. One will be the central or state universities. This will be funded by the central government or the state government, mainly including IITs, NITs, IISCs, IISERs, IIITs. Then there are other institutes, DU, JNU, sort of a lot of them. I will cover a lot of them here. Then there are autonomous research institutes. Autonomous in the sense they have themselves a single institute and they manage everything within themselves. Something like ISI Kolkata, CMI Chennai, TIFR, Tata Institute of Fundamental Research Mumbai. And there are also private universities like BITS, VIT, which are again sort of this category of premier institutes in our country. So without any ado, we'll start with the entrance examinations. I will give an overview about what are the common entrance examinations and how can you get into these institutes. First thing is the IIT entrance examination. So getting into IIT. So IIT is Indian Institute of Technology. There are 23 IITs across the country. I'm studying in IIT Bombay. IIT Bombay is is the second IIT introduced in our country. It is founded in 1950. It's so old an IIT. It has this legacy of these many years. And the way of getting into an IIT is by an entrance examination called JEE. I think many people, not all, but would have heard about this exam, JEE. Nowadays, these coaching institutes give a lot of promotions regarding what JEE is. So JEE has two levels of exam. First level is called JEE Mains. JEE Mains is an exam which any student after 12th standard can apply. They can write the exam. Typically around 10 lakh students, 7 to 10 lakh students appear for this joint entrance examination. And to appear in JEE Mains, you should compulsorily have mathematics in your 11th and 12th. So if you are planning to take anything related to JEE, you should choose a stream in your 12th which compulsorily contains mathematics. Typically the most sought after choice is physics, chemistry, mathematics, PCM. This is the three, because JEE examination contains three subjects, physics, chemistry, maths. So people will go for a stream which contains physics, chemistry and maths, and mathematics is compulsory. After you completed a stream in 12th, you can appear for joint entrance examination mains. Once mains is done, I think around 20%, the top 20% of the people who appeared in mains can appear for advance. Not all of them can appear for advance. Top 20%. So this will account around 2 lakh. Out of 10 lakh people appearing, around 2 lakh people can appear for JEE advance. So every year after the mains is over, they will release a cutoff. They will tell that people with this much marks, this much percentile, that's what they call it, this much rank can appear for advance. Once you write advance, mains is conducted by a body called National Testing Agency, NTA. Advance are conducted by IITs themselves. NTAs are national under central government and mains are relatively easier exams. It's not a very hard exam, but not very easy also. It's a moderate level exam. As compared to a board exam, it will be harder. But people can easily get through mains. If you are doing decent effort of learning, you can do. But JEE Advance is conducted directly by IITs. So IITs have a panel of professors who conduct this exam. So they are significantly harder. Significantly harder means it's one of the hardest examinations in the country. In the undergraduate level, of course, it is the hardest exam in the country. It is internationally also one of the hardest exams. So the papers of maths are typically very hard. So what do you need to get into this hard exam? So it's not like you wake up a morning, go write the exam and come back. It's not that easy as it. So if you need to crack this exam like advanced, you need to have years of preparation. So typically in countries, regions like Andhra Pradesh and all, mainly from what I have seen from my friends over there, they have this legacy of this cultural property of people starting their education for preparation for JEE from their 6th standard, 7th standard and all to get into this. Because imagine the competition that you can face. But personally, I don't feel that students should be overwhelmed with this idea of entrance examination from such a young age, because I studied or started my preparation from 11th standard. Most of my friends, 80-90% of my friends have started their preparation from 11th standard and were able to get into IIT. So a systematic but a comprehensive preparation from 11th standard is decently enough for getting into IITs, but you need to prepare from there. The syllabus for JEE mains and advanced comprises of topics from both 11th and 12th. So you should need to be aware that you need to, whenever you're learning in 11th, you should be aware that, oh, I need to use this for my entrance examination after my 12th. So it's not like you learn 11th, leave it behind and come to 12th. You should be focused from there. I need to do this, I need to work hard, I need to crack hard exams. So typically it's advised that people will go for some coaching, because it's difficult for students themselves to manage school and learn this. The syllabus for this exam will be much more than the school. In school you will learn something, but for entrance exam you will need to cover some more things to get a good rank. And for what courses do you get admission into IITs? IITs generally offer 2 courses, BTechs and BS. And BS is again for pure sciences, and not all the IITs have. In fact, IIT Bombay has BS in chemistry and mathematics, and interestingly, it has BS in economics. You might see what does science to do with economics, but economics in its deeper layer is also some sort of science. There are a lot of connections with other sciences. So IIT Bombay has admission to BS in economics, mathematics and chemistry. Other IITs also, for example, IIT Madras, Kanpur have BS in physics. So a lot of these IITs have some BS courses also. So these are pure science. You will just learn physics, nothing more. And the most common and the most sought after degrees, BTech, Bachelor in Technology. Specifically, there are some top niche branches, good branches where companies would come for. So these branches include computer science, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering. So these branches are the topmost branches in the country. So the people who get admitted to these branches are one of the best in these exams. Okay. So interestingly, so if I'm telling, so I am currently now studying computer science at IIT Bombay, and I am studying with the top 50 people who have qualified at JEE Advanced. So I told JEE Advanced is one of the hardest exams in the country. So people who have cracked the hardest exam, and the top 50 of them are my classmates. I know them personally, I talk to them every year. So these, again, for every year, these top 50 people come to IIT Bombay. My juniors are those top 50, my seniors were top 50. I have communication connections with them. So building up such connections are some of the most motivating parts you can take care of. Clear about IITs? JEE Advanced is in. Any doubt with IITs? Getting into IITs? Anyone? Fine, good. Then we can have another engineering institutions which include NITs and IIITs. NIT is a National Institute of Technology. So IITs are the topmost engineering institutions in our country. NITs are a little below, but not bad. Even NITs also have a good academic culture as well as faculties as well. But NITs are not, as compared to NITs fall a little below, but still they're very good institutes. And getting admission to NITs are by JEE mains. So I told you, for IIT you need to write JEE mains and then advanced. If you want to go into an NIT, you don't need to write advanced. You can stop with mains. So the people who get into NITs are getting into NIT depending on their ranks in mains. So what happens is every year they will call out people for mains. So people, if you want to go to NIT or IIT, you should apply for mains, go there, write the examination. So every year there will be 2 examinations for mains. So the current examination for this year's mains, just first session of mains just concluded last week. And there will be one more session around April. So 2 examinations will be there. After 2 examinations, what will happen? The best out of these 2 scores will be taken and your rank list for JEE mains will be published. And with this rank list, like I told before, some people will be shortlisted for advanced and advanced will happen typically around June of the month, and you will get your admission to IITs by, the classes will start by August, July and August. So if you want to, once you complete with advanced, the way to get into NITs and IITs happens through a common process. There is something called counseling process, where you are required to submit your details, what all institutes you are interested in. So for example, I cleared got a good rank in advance, and I need to go to, I have different opportunities to choose from, right? I can go to IIT Bombay, IIT Madras, IIT Delhi, IIT Kanpur. Different branches are there, computer science, electrical, mechanical, whatever I want. So I can give a preference form. I can say that I like this thing before this. So I can say that my first preference is IIT Bombay Computer Science. Next is IIT Madras Computer Science. So I can give a preference form, and everyone will give this preference form, and depending on your rank, the people with more rank will more preference, and you'll get allotted a seat. You can pay the fees and join. That's how it happens. So NITs also take people via JEE means, and there is something called the Indian Institute of Information Technologies. The 21 of those Indian Institute of Information Technologies, and these are dedicated to information technology, computer science, information technology, informatics. These are the only courses offered there. All these courses are coming under BTech, but this is a common platform where you can enter. So it is relatively easy to get admission to NITs because the top people will go for IITs, the topmost ranks, and the people falling below will come to NITs, and they have a good, decent. So if you're like, I can't study too much for advanced, studying for advanced is too much for me, I can't manage it, you can surely give a shot for JEE means. With the decent amount of preparation, you can just crack JEE means. So clear about NITs, IITs, these things? I think it should be fairly easy. Yeah. Then there is something called IISERs, Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research, which very less people in the country know about. So, in fact, about any of these entrance exams, if personally any doubt you can ask me, I have written all the entrance exam I have told here. So, all these entrance examinations when I was in my 12th standard, I have written, and I was able to make out into all the institutes except one. Except for one institute, I was able to clear all the entrance examinations. Finally, I decided to join IIT Bombay, and then I get it there. So if you have any doubts related to how the exams are there, you could ask me. Now I will draw your attention to IISERs. So IISERs are for pure sciences only. There is only the degree offered there are BS, MS dual degree. It's a 5-year degree. At the end of the 5 year, you will get masters also. You can start as an undergraduate student. At the end of 5 years, you will get MS also. MS means post graduation. So if you want to do PhD after, you can directly do PhD. You don't need to do a master's there. And the speciality about IISERs is that they are those institutes which is focused only on research. So their idea is to develop pure science, do research, bring out scientists, develop things. So anyone who honestly like to become scientist, I mean, like learn just science, become scientist, anyone? Yeah, for people like you, IISERs, of course, IIT Bombay also has this rich culture of research, very rich culture. So if you clear JEE Advanced, I told you there is a provision to enter to BS. If you are becoming admitted to BS, there is also a good way to become scientist. You can do research after that, continue for PhD. But if you exclusively want to live with the world where this is pure science, IISERs give place for that. And for IISERs, we have a special entrance exam called IISER Aptitude Test, IIT. The IISER Aptitude Test is also not a very hard exam. It's easier than JEE Mains. So JEE Advanced is the hardest exam. JEE Mains fall below that. IISER Aptitude Test is even lesser. It's not very hard. This also has physics, chemistry, maths and biology also. Because IISER, the philosophy of IISER is that if you become a scientist, you should know about other disciplines as well. If you become a physicist, you should know about chemistry, maths and biology as well. Only then you can become a physicist. That's how IISERs work. So the first 2 years, you will learn all the pure sciences. You will learn physics, chemistry, maths and biology. All the subjects you will learn. From the 3rd year onwards, we choose one special subject which you like and do research and get a degree over there. So it's called IISER Aptitude Test, IIT. And usually, typically, a lot of people also join IISERs. There are a lot of IISERs. Pune is one of the best institutes in the country. They are known for its legacy, big alumni, good academic research happens. There are other IISERs called IISER Mohali, IISER in Bhopal, IISER Kolkata, IISER Trivandrum, IISER Tirupati, IISER Bhubaneswar. A lot of IISERs are there. Like 7 IISERs are there as of now. Yeah, so this will be research oriented. Like I told you, whatever you learn in your textbook, you will learn more about it. You write papers, you do research, become scientist. For example, if you're liking, I think you would have done, being in 9th and 10th, you would have done small researches in your chemistry lab. You would have taken chemicals, added it to one another. If you like these stuffs, these are what typically chemists do. They will start the day in their laboratory, they will end the day there, they're working with chemicals, figuring out things. If you like those things, it's something for you. If you are people of reasoning mind, if you like biology, if you like to work with, find bacteria, understand what happens when something happens with bacteria, how you can define, extract new drugs out of it, this is something for you. And people who graduate out of IISERs will typically do PhD, and most of this get a chance to do PhD abroad in reputed universities. Clear? Any doubt with IISERs? Okay. So as a continuation to IISERs, I have something called NICER, which no one would have heard. Have anyone heard about NICER? So I'm almost sure no one would have heard. In fact, I didn't hear about NICER until till my 11th standard. So I don't expect you to hear about it. NICER is very similar to IISER. It's at par with IISER. If you keep IISER and NICER, they're almost at the same level, just a different name. It's a different, funded differently by the government. It is National Institute of Science Education Research. The same philosophy as IISERs, nothing different. It's in Bhubaneswar, but it has a special entrance exam. This entrance exam is called NEST. The difficulty of NEST is almost the same level as IISER aptitude test, easier than mains. Same thing, we need to learn physics, chemistry, biology, mathematics, all these things in the first year. Then after that, you can choose one subject, do research there, become scientist after that. And NEST is also an entrance examination for another institute called CEBS, Center for Excellence in Basic Sciences under University of Mumbai. So this is also another institute. If you give NEST examination, you can you join both NICER as well as CBS, which are both of them similar, but I would prefer NICER is a much better institute, reputed. You have a more better faculty over there. So I have a friend. In fact, I wrote NICER and I got cleared NICER. I was going to join NICER before, but then JEE Advanced came in. I wrote JEE Advanced and came to IIT. So I know a friend who is studying there in NICER. So it has a very good academic culture. Fine? Clear with these things? What pure sciences? Good. Next is the most reputed institute in the country. So, like we say about IITs, IITs is Indian Institute of Technology. There is Indian Institute of Science. Father talked about it. Indian Institute of Science is a very reputed institute all over the country. So it is one of the topmost research institutes. So it's a pinnacle of research in the country. So it's always like IIT versus IISc. So people will be like, which one to choose, IIT versus IISc? And it is also very globally reputed. So have you heard about C.V. Raman? Yeah. So C.V. Raman was a Nobel laureate, and C.V. Raman was the previous director of IISc. So C.V. Raman was there in the beginning phase of IISc. So it's one of the oldest and most reputed institute in the country. And the entrance exam for IISc, there is no specific entrance exam for IISc. Typically, they will choose people from IIT, IISER aptitude test. So if you want to join for IISc, you should apply for IISER aptitude test, clear it, and based on the rank there, you will get admission. Some people are also chosen depending on their ranks in JEE Advanced. So getting into IISc is not so very easy. Either you should have a very good rank in IISER aptitude test or a very good rank in JEE Advanced. And the courses offered there are BSc Research. It's a 4-year course. So if you look at a local college, the BSc course will be typically 3 years. You can finish the coursework in 3 years. But in case of IISc, the degree course is 4 years. 3 years you will do the theory. The 4th year you will do a research paper, you will do a project and complete it. And there is also something called BTech in mathematics and computing. So this is where you do computer science along with mathematics and do it. So interestingly, I did my JEE Advanced in 2022. So in that year, the All India rank 1, he did not choose to join IIT Bombay. So historically, what happens is that top people will come join IIT Bombay Computer Science. People are fighting for it. So this All India rank 1, he told he didn't want to join IIT Bombay, but rather he joined IISc for BTech in mathematics and computing. So because he told he wanted to do research and become and go in that path. So imagine how reputed this institute is. And this is one of the most ranked institute in the world and the country. So it's almost, whenever you see the ranking, IISc will be there competing with any of these IITs. And the interesting thing about IISc is that all the students studying there, they are covered under Inspire Scholarship. So earlier there used to be a scholarship called KVPY, Kishore Vaigyanik Protsahan Yojana. They discontinued that in 2021. So I was in the last batch of the people who got KVPY. So after that, they instantiated this Inspire scholarship. So everyone, if you get admission to IISC, don't worry about fees. You will get an Inspire scholarship which will cover your entire fees, and in fact, you'll get some money back after you're paid for your fees. Clear about IISC? Okay. Then there is something called ISI or CMI. So these are the institutes for maths and statistics. So is there anyone who extremely like maths? I mean, who like math? Yeah. For you, ISI and CMI are a very good option. And I will honestly tell you, the ISI entrance exam, both CMI entrance exam, are very hard exam. So it will be like almost of the same level of JEE advanced, slightly below it. And ISI is the only entrance exam I was not able to clear. So out of all the entrance exam I am presenting, ISI was the only entrance exam I was not able to clear. It was a very hard exam. You can't, I mean, the topmost people will get, and in fact there are only one institute, limited number of seats, so they will only choose like 30-40 people for this. ISI is in Kolkata, and the courses offered are called B-Math and B-Stat. Bachelor in Mathematics, Bachelor in Statistics. So it is just mathematics, statistics. You will do that. Most of the people, and you know, even though you feel like you are just doing maths, the placements are very high there, because people who do math are sort of the intellects. People who do math need to put their brain into much use. Even among our courseworks, people who take math and do math are regarded as the most intelligent people among them. So B-Math and B-Stat are one of the most reputed courses, and CMI is Chennai Mathematical Institute, and they have BSc in Mathematics as well as in Computer Science also. These are also one of the two most prestigious but hardest to get and well-reputed institutes in our country. And people who do these are not just restricting themselves to math. Don't think that people who do math will just do sin theta, cos theta, tan theta all their life. These people do much more things. For example, a lot of economists, world famous economists have come from ISI. People doing these statistics, they need to monitor data, and economics is one field where you do data analysis and things like that. So people who do this, they will also go to data analysis, science, computer scientists. We have faculty in computer science department who have worked with ISI, who have publications in the fields related to ISI. For things like game theory, things like that, there are things like game theory, which is totally mathematical concept which has applications in economics and computer science. So ISI is also one of the most premier institutes in our country. The exams are hard. It's at almost the same level of JEE advanced. And for writing the exam, you don't need too much theoretical knowledge. It's not like you need to know not too much things in 11th and 12th. It's a common exam. If you know things what you've learned in 10th, you can do the exam. But the exam is of a sort of harder level. And then, like further told, there are various central universities, and for central universities, there is a common entrance exam called CUET for UG. CUET is one of the most easiest exam you can write. So it is almost the same level of board exams. So if you do decently well in board exams, you can do CUET. And CUET will get you admission to universities like JNU, TU, other central universities. DU is Delhi University, which has a lot of famous colleges, where CUET is not just restricted to science. You can do physics, not just physics, chemistry, biology, maths, but rather more subjects like sociology, philosophy, economics, a lot more of these things. For example, if you are a person, someone who likes to crack UPSC, anyone who is dreaming of cracking UPSC, becoming a civil servant, IPS, IFS. So for people like this, it is a common trend to write CUET, go to Delhi University. Delhi is a place where there are a lot of these UPSC coaching centers are there. Get a degree from DU and streamline your process to become a UPSC, for preparing for UPSC. Because if you are interested in just getting UPSC, it is better to have a degree which is worth it. So if you do a BA in economics, which will help you in getting UPSC prepared for this and properly. And the exam is very easy. It's just basically what you did in board exams. If you do properly well, or doing it carefully, you can easily crack this exam. And not just related to engineering and science, but a lot of other fields. And finally, when I'm coming to the end of it, I would like to focus on some Olympiads and scholarships. So this is one thing which I now, as a grown-up adult, regret not being known when I was in my school. So there are a lot of Olympiads and opportunities, scholarships which are available for you. So one more thing which you can take a note of now is NTSC. NTSC is National Talent Search exam, which you can write in your 10th standard. So people who are currently in 10th standard, I don't think you can write it now because the time is over. But people who are in 9th standard, you can keep an eye on this exam, which will happen next year. So there will be announcement for the website, online announcements will be there, and you can write this exam. NTSC contains 2 maths, biology, social science, everything. And the interesting thing is that if you clarify this, there are typically 2 levels, the state level and national level. If you qualify this, you will get scholarship in your 11th, 12th, degree, PG. I don't know about PhD, but till your PG you will get scholarship monthly. Students from 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all of these can write. Now, what is the best thing about this is that people who write these Olympiads, one instance is that if you get qualified for this mathematical Olympiad, international, if you get qualified for International Mathematics Olympiad, you can directly get a seat in IIT Bombay, which must not many people know. So the BS Math at IIT Bombay will admit people who qualified international Olympiads directly. And you know, for people who set these questions are the for this Indian Mathematical Olympiad. There are people from our seniors who go to evaluate the answers. Yeah, I am winding up here. If you have any doubts, if you have any doubts, you can ask me now regarding any of these entrance examinations or anything related to this. I mean, don't be shy. You're getting an opportunity to ask doubts. You could always ask doubts. Chalo, after hearing this, how many of you feel like I need to prepare for JEE or get into some of these colleges? It's okay that you didn't feel. Science is not everyone's favorite, I know. This field is not something everyone wants to do. Good, I appreciate you. Happy, expecting you to see some of you there at IIT Bombay in the coming years. Any doubts specific to any of these things? In general, in entrance exam. So maybe I will take a couple of minutes to tell about preparations of this entrance exam which I didn't cover. So, see, entrance examinations are very competitive. Because people, everyone are like, they want to get into this college, they want to write it. So it's like only the best people will get into it. And what do you mean by best? So I don't like to qualify the best as the most intelligent people. I mean, in general, I don't feel like it's not just the most intelligent people. Of course, people who crack this exam are the most intelligent, but not just the most intelligent people come to this. People who do sheer hard work, who work for it, who dedicate their time and effort to this, always crack it. Because I know people who didn't qualify this exam in the first attempt, but who have repeated a year and come back to this. So in fact, I know one of my friends who got 15,000 rank in JEE mains, but when it came to JEE advanced, he got rank 3,000. So imagine the jump from 50,000 to 3,000. So people like them, it's not like that they never assume that this thing is there for granted. So of course there are people who are preparing. Right now when you're sitting here, there are people who are preparing for these exams. People who are reading 10th, 11th standard topics for preparing there. People like, spend 2 years in Kota, struggling their life preparing for it. But then there are people who are dedicated within their limited circumstances, and strive for it and crack it. A lot of people. Of course, there are a lot of reservations available to people. People from the backgrounds like SC, PWD, other armed forces, people from armed forces. All of these people get an opportunity with proper reservations. Specifically, all the IITs and NITs have a 10% reservation for women. So, specifically for girls, 10% seat has to be dedicated. So, whatever be the proportion, always 10% will be given to women. So, all these reservations are used to uplift and support the people from humble backgrounds. And this is something which you could look out for. And one thing, most of these institutes are government funded. Most of them have a very decent fees, not too high. In fact, at IIT, one semester you need to spend around 1,50,000 as a fees itself. It might be dauntingly high. But interestingly, there are scholarships. For people whose annual income is less than 5 lakhs, there are institute scholarships, merit company scholarships, There are named scholarships. There are alumni who come and donate their money to support the education of people. For example, if you don't have a laptop, so in IIT you need to compulsorily have a laptop when you join them. So most of these people from humble background doesn't have even money to buy a laptop. So there are alumni who sponsor laptops to them. So all these things are there for you. So just because you feel like you can't do it, you shouldn't try it. Everyone should be like, I should give a try. Maybe I won't succeed in that attempt. Maybe I can still give a back, have a plan B, look into it. But it's always worth trying. It's always good to fail after you try rather than being happy that, oh, I didn't try. So always give a shot. There will be someone to help out for you. There will be someone to guide you. Yeah. So any doubt? I hope it wasn't an overwhelming, tiring. Hello.
Tired, right? Again,
Too much of information. I know.
Again,
हॅलो सर एक विचारायचं आहे हे तुम्ही सगळं एंट्रन्स विषयी सांगितलं एक्झाम्स विषयी सांगितलं पण अबाउट स्टडी तुम्ही थोडं गाईड केलं तर बरं होईल प्लीज ट्रान्सलेट करा कोणीतरी हे सर्व जे सांगितलं ना अबाउट एंट्रन्स एक्झाम्स आणि हे ऑल इन्स्टिट्यूट्स विषयी सांगितलं त्यांनी परंतु मुलांनी अभ्यास करायला स्पेशली आता सध्या ट्रेंड आहे की कुठल्या तरी अकॅडमीमध्ये हे घ्यायचं काय घ्यायचं ॲडमिशन घ्यायचं अकॅडमीमध्ये आणि कॉलेजमध्ये नॉमिनल ॲडमिशन घ्यायचं तर हे अकॅडमीमध्ये एखाद्या ॲडमिशन घेणं गरजेचं आहे का मुलं 11th-12th कॉलेज बेसिसवर हा अभ्यास सगळं करू शकतात का हे विचारायचं
नो मैं अंग्रेजी में बोलूँ हिंदी में बोलूँ
हिंदी में बोलिए सर
हाँ
इंग्लिश में भी बोलिए कुछ बात नहीं
ठीक है जैसा है ना जैसे लड़की मतलब कोचिंग हम IIT बॉम्बे में बिना कोचिंग आए हुए बहुत सारे बच्चे हैं ये मत सोचिए जो कोचिंग में जाने वाले सबसे इंटेलिजेंट हैं वे लोग सफल होते हैं लेकिन जो अपना सिंपल स्कूल से आए हुए बहुत सारे बच्चे हैं है ना तो कोचिंग में जाना ना जाना ठीक है लेकिन अगर बच्चे एक हार्ड वर्किंग बच्चे हैं तो खुद इसको क्रैक कर सकते हैं That's it. And you want to say something?
Yeah, like what I told, coaching is not an absolute necessary. It's not that you should go, but I would say it is better to go. Why? Because there are too many people competing for it. So just because you didn't get a coaching, if you're not able to get an admission, it shouldn't be the case. So if you can, a lot of these coaching institutes, they have scholarships themselves. So if there is a chance that you can, I would personally recommend to go, ask them students to go for coaching because one thing is that the syllabus is very heavy. So even if people can do it, if people are confident enough to do themselves, I will say do it themselves. Otherwise, it's always a better option to go for coaching, but it's not a necessity. It's up to you to decide because a lot of things which they do in coaching, sometimes people may not be able to catch themselves. And there is one thing, now because there are YouTube videos and things like that, you can learn yourself also. So if students are hardworking enough, they are dedicated enough, you can go for do it themselves, and maybe you can give some tests, all India tests conducted by coaching institute, which will help them to understand their level in the national level and prepare themselves. Otherwise, if you can, go for a coach. So it depends on how the student wants to prepare. And I would prefer not to overburden students with these things because mental health is one thing which students should take care during the 11th and 10th. So most of what happens is that people will start for a coaching in the 11th and 10th and students will be overburdened with the topic. They won't be able to do anything properly and they will drop out of the coaching and they won't end up anywhere. So people should get a space to explore themselves. In their comfort, they should be able to do what they want to do.
देखिए जो कोचिंग से आकर जो एग्ज़ाम क्रैक करते हैं ये मत सोचिए सबसे इंटेलिजेंट नहीं उनको अच्छा ट्रेनिंग दिया जाता है ताकि वे प्रीवियस क्वेश्चंस को सॉल्व करके उसी के लिए काबिल हो जाए मीन्स दे गिव द ट्रेनिंग टू एग्जामिनेशन जल्दी कितने मिनट में कैसे करना है वो कोचिंग मिलता है कोचिंग में लेकिन ये मत सोचिए तो ये कोचिंग से जरिए जो आते हैं ये सबसे इंटेलिजेंट है ना, जो डिफेंस, लेकिन तो ये बता रहे हैं कोचिंग भेजने से वो आर्ट ऑफ राइटिंग एग्जामिनेशन को मिल जाएगा, सो दैट इज इट। एंड ये बोल रहे थे गर्ल्स कोटा इन IIT इज 10%, 20% है। अगर हम 100 लड़कों को एडमिट करेंगे तो उसमें से 100 में से एक्स्ट्रा 20%, अगर मतलब फर्स्ट 100 जो आएंगे तो मेरिट के आधार पर, इसके बावजूद वी शुड एडमिट 20 गर्ल्स ऑल्सो एक्स्ट्रा, समझे ना? बॉयज एंड गर्ल्स विल कम टॉप 100 रैंक में, लेकिन 20 seats will be filled only for the girls, all the IITs, 20% extra उन लोगों के लिए। So it's not that bad, it's very good. IIT Bombay always fulfills the seats of girls. We have more girls, 22% we have extra. Yeah, anything? काफी है ना? बस कोई बात नहीं, अभी आप पढ़ो बच्चों के लिए 9th and 10th अच्छे से पढ़िए, please do it with after that you can enjoy life after class 10 examination. Class 10 हमारा धंधा है, उसके ऊपर क्या मार्क आएगा उसी के अनुसार आप आगे बढ़ेंगे, इसलिए do well for 9th and 10th, then बाद में देखा जाएगा। The future is not ours to see, whatever will be, so do that way. I think that's enough. We are tired, you know. We are sitting on the floor for a long time. They go back up again. And if you want to ask, something, no, you can get up and you can come and ask me. Anything else? Anybody else? ये ले लो।
हेलो सर, नमस्ते। बच्चों में कंफ्यूजन रहता है कि PCMB ग्रुप लेंगे तो उनको बहुत हार्ड जाएगा, PCM और PCB, यही कंसेप्ट फिट रहता है। PCMB लेने से बेनिफिट्स, PCMB लेने के बेनिफिट्स आप थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा बता दीजिए।
PCMB is for PCMB with physics, chemistry, maths and biology. So this is for people, like some people will be confused whether I need to go for medicine, medical related fields, or I need to go for pure engineering field. So for those people it is better to take PCMB, because even after 12th they have an option to choose either physics, either engineering or medical field. But if you are like someone is like, I don't want to do maths in my life, I am done with maths, people can go for PCB. And the disadvantage is that after 12th, if someone, you need to go for a job or a course which needs math, for example, you PCB can't apply for JEE Advanced, you can't go for engineering. But if you do PCM, most of the cases people can shift to biology. So it's a safer option either to take PCM or PCMB. PCB is for people who doesn't want to do maths at all. But it is also a good option. It's not that people who doesn't want to do maths at all won't succeed. There are a lot of people who succeed with that also. If you want to do medicine alone, want to focus on MBBS alone, go for PCB. Why should you worry about maths? Why should you care about the mark in maths? But if people want to do something, or if you're either you want to do something with maths, or if you're unsure about it, go for PCM or PCMB. Out of that, if you're uncertain, better go for PCMB. That is better. And it will be hard. In general, I am a background having PCMB, so it won't be very easy to manage all the 4 subjects. But if you are focused enough, you can do it. So most of the parents and students will be not very clear about what exactly they should do after 10th. They will be having slight doubt. In those cases, I would say go for PCMB. Of course, these are the options only in science. People who doesn't like science can move to commerce and humanities department. For example, if someone want to crack UPSC alone, I don't want to do anything with science, it is always the best to take humanities, because you get the exposure about Indian history, tradition, politics and all, which will help you in preparing for UPSC. So it depends on how certain you are. But above all of these, you should be able to get good marks in 10th. Only then you can choose the stream which you want. All these streams are decided depending on your mark. So when at the end of your 10th, when you're going for admission, if you say I want to get PCM, PCMB, if you doesn't have enough marks, you won't be able to get admission.
एक बात भूल गया बोलने के लिए, हमारा जॉब होता है ना IAS, IPS, IFS, इंडियन रेवेन्यू सर्विस, IRS, जो पट्टीवाली घूम रहे हैं ना यहाँ पर, हमारा कलेक्टर साहब और जिलाधिकारी, उसके लिए आपको सबसे पहले यू हैव टू क्लियर योर अंडरग्रेड, BA, वट एवर मे बी योर डिग्री. इसके बाद यू गो फॉर द UPSC मेंस, प्रीलिम्स, देन यू गो फॉर द प्रीलिम्स. वो भी अच्छी है बिकॉज एवरी ईयर हमारे टोटल सिविल सर्वेंट्स आर कमिंग, ऑलमोस्ट 800 सिविल सर्वेंट्स आर रिक्रूटेड. फर्स्ट सबसे आपको BA, BSc जो भी अंडरग्रेड आप कर सकते हैं. देन आफ्टर दैट यू हैव टू गो फॉर द UPSC सिविल सर्विस का प्रीलिमिनरी एग्जाम, प्रीलिम्स. इसके बाद उसमें जो क्वालिफाई करेंगे दे विल गो फॉर द मेंस. ठीक है, देन इंटरव्यू. So that also is a very good option. And there are civil services, not only IAS, IPS and IFS, there are allied services like Indian Railway Service, Indian Postal Service, Indian Telecommunications and other things service, and Revenue Service, जो income tax का सारे के सारे IRS से आते हैं. So these all are central public service commission के जरिए civil servants है. That also is good, and we need अच्छे collectors, अच्छे IAS officers. So you can think of that also. वो भी possibilities है. ये मत सोचो IIT is the only option. There are other options, है ना? वही बोलना. Okay, I think we will break now. Anybody else wants to say? और कोई कुछ बोलना चाहती है? चाहते हैं? नहीं तो हम बंद करेंगे क्योंकि ये बच्चे थक गए, ऊब गए. देखो इनके चेहरे पर देखो. हम टीचर हैं ना, we are teachers. So we know the pains of the students, है ना? Okay. If you want to say something privately, you can come and talk to him. आप है ना, ग्रुप में नहीं है, अकेला आप बात कर सकते हैं. आधा घंटे में आप जो कुछ पूछना इनसे पूछ लीजिए, और नहीं तो हमसे पूछ लीजिए. Okay. I think we can. I hand over the mic to the principal. Father James, ले लीजिए. आप वाइंड अप कर दीजिए.
Stop it.